Hello everybody, my name is Jeremy Octoloni and I'm a fitness instructor working out of 19 Wing Comox with PSP. Today we're going to be doing a high intensity style training session utilizing dumbbells. So we're going to need dumbbells. You only really need two. I'm using 20s, but I'm also going to be utilizing a third dumbbell for a bit of a heavier movement when we're doing squats in this session. If you don't have 3 dumbbells, 2 of the same weight is totally fine. You can always increase your speed and intensity instead of your weight. You don't necessarily have to increase the weight to get the same result. It's all about time under tension for this one. So, the goal of this one is to get the heart rate up to burn fat and also put on muscle, hence why we're using resistance training in this style of circuit. I'm not going to be playing any music on my end. If you guys want to put on some music, that's totally fine. And I just need to go over a quick disclosure with you guys, so I'll just read it right off the paper. For your safety, please ensure to read the full disclaimer located in the description below this video before you start your virtual training. Also, on that note, if you guys want to hit the bell and subscribe below, there'll be a ton more videos coming out your way. Getting into it, we're just going to go over a few warm-up ideas. Keep in mind, if you want to pause the video and include some more of your own warm-up, you can. This is just what I will be using for the video. So with that being said, we're going to get started. This is a full body workout. So we're going to do the warm-up first, and then we're going to go over the exercises. So starting with a nice shoulder raise, you're just going to come up to parallel, like so. You want to do about 10 of these, just to get the whole delt nice and warmed up. And then we're just going to take a step forward. Bring our delts all the way up. This one's targeting the front deltoid. The first one we just did was targeting the lateral delt. You can do this with light weights too if you don't feel like this is enough for you. And we're just going to bend over, bending at our hip, keeping our back straight. Just going to raise your arms up. So we just hit all 3 delts. Now we're going to do a pec stretch, so coming across the body, opening up the chest. This is a full body workout, so we got to do a full body warm up. If you have any cardio equipment, utilize that as well. Maybe 5 minutes on a rowing machine or a treadmill can be quite beneficial. Now we're going to go down to the lower body, opening the gate. You guys need to walk to do this one. You can. It might make it seem a little easier. I have to stay on the screen, so we're not going to be doing much walking back and forth. I'd also recommend some jogging if you have the space as well. So we just opened the gates. Now we're going to close the gates. So same thing. You can step on the spot like I'm doing, close the gate. Try to bring that leg all the way up and forward. So you just need about 10 in total, 5 per side, or 10 to 12, whatever feels best for you. Now we're going to go into some lunges. Perfect. When you're doing these lunges, try to keep your pelvis straight and tilted backwards. Not leaning out over your knee. You're going to shake off the legs. You're going to do 5 air squats. So again, butt's pulling back like so, coming down in parallel. So we're just going to do 5 of those. Good job. Last one, we're going to do mountain climbers. So 6 mountain climbers, or sorry, not mountain climbers, inchworms. So we're going to come out and then come back up with a straight leg, coming out, back up with a straight leg. That's 2. There we go. So we're going to get started now with the demos. First one we're going to do, dumbbell shoulder press. So for this one, when you're doing any type of dumbbell work, especially shoulder press, you want your chest up in a proud position with your shoulder blades retracted back and depressed down. So we're just going like this. Nice, tall, strong position. Picking up our dumbbells, still in that tall position. Having a bit of an angle to them, so not right like this, but a little bit like that. Just firing up over our head. Almost bringing them together at the top. Dumbbell shoulder press. We're going to be doing each of these for 45 seconds with 10 seconds of rest. It's not how quick you do the rep, it's just keeping that tension for 45 seconds. Next one we're going to do is laying on the ground, and it's called a dumbbell press, so for your pecs, your chest. For this one, we're laying on the ground like so. You can bend your legs if you want to use your feet to drive into the ground, or you can put your feet flat, and you're simply pressing up and coming down to a slight pause and pressing up. Notice how the dumbbells at the top of the movement come in and almost touch each other. You really want to have your shoulder blades retracted back. Think about pinching a pencil between your shoulder blades for this one. Now these weights are quite light for this, so if you want to have a variety of weights, you sure can. That's totally optional. Next one we're going to be doing for the upper body is a bent over row. So that's going to activate your lats and a little bit of traps as well as your lower back. So for this one, super important we're not bent over like this. Again, we're pulling our butt back, keeping our back straight the whole time when we roll up. So the movement is going to look like this. I'll show you 2 angles. So butt comes back, putting the load on our hamstrings, and then we're just rowing up our sides. Again, coming down, rowing up. And that's targeting the posterior chain, so your back. Those are the 3 upper body movements we're doing today. We're then going to go into the next 3. So the next 3, front lunge alternating. So coming back like so, and back and forth. Or if you have more room and you need to walk forward, that's totally fine. So we're just lunging. The main things here, guys, when we're lunging, our toes are facing forward, not out to either side or the inside. And when we come down, our knee needs to be tracking in line with our toes the entire time. So notice how when I step here, plant the toe, come down, knee is in line with the toes. It's not shooting out to the side or the inside. That's how we want it. Secondly, we don't want our knee to go way over top of our toes. So,
this is swing operations for the next. Ring 56 is now closed for the duration of the snowbird's flight. Expected to be open around
1 second, guys.
I say again, Route 66 is now closed for the duration
66
of
is
the
now
flight.
closed. Anyways, where was I? Knee needs to be tracking over top of the toe and not going way past the toe. So when you come down, you want that knee to be in line with the toe, not past it. If it goes past too much and you're underweight with dumbbells, you can put a lot of pressure on that patellar tendon, which we want to avoid. So pretty straightforward. Keep the pelvis straight and back, and don't go over the toe. Next is a reverse lunge. So you can do these without weight or with weight. I will be doing them with weight. You're simply doing the exact same movement, just stepping back. Third exercise, squats. So we're going to be doing a goblet squat. You're going to grab your dumbbell. This is what my heavier dumbbell is for. It's only at 35, but we just use what we have. You're going to be coming down. Feet are just past shoulder width apart. Toes slightly out. You're going to come down. Try to touch your elbows to your knees and come back up. Keeping a nice straight back. So here from this angle, down, back up. Just parallel or just past parallel. Either one is fine. Just make sure that back is nice and strong. Chest is elevated in upward position, and we're good to go. So those are going to be your 6 exercises. We're going to be working for 45 seconds with 10 seconds off. So not a lot of rest. That's where the high intensity comes in. Once we get through one round, we're going to have a 1-minute break, or about 1 minute, depending how much you need. It's all good if you need to pause and take a second. And then going right back into it. We're doing it 3 times, so 3 sets of this, guys. You probably can't see my clock, but it will beep, and you should be able to hear that. And that's an indicator of switching to the next exercise. So let's get right into it now. Starting in 10 seconds with shoulder press. So picking up our dumbbells, and here we go. Nice strong stance. You can also put one leg forward. Remember to release the air on the way up. Ten seconds to transition to your next exercise. So, we're coming right to the ground for this one, and we're going to be starting it now. This is the floor press, activating the chest, focusing on the middle of the chest here with a slight pause on the bottom. Be getting a nice burn by now, especially if you have heavier dumbbells. Second one down. We're going to be going to our rows now. The reason we're doing 45 seconds, guys, is 45 seconds is ideal for hypertrophy. There's a lot of studies on that. Look it up. So now we're just rowing. Try not to look forward like this. Keep your head in line with your back. And row. You don't have to be at a parallel, taking an L. You can always come up to about here. You're just going to target the back a little bit different. Main thing's keeping it straight. Squeezing at the top. Try not to rely on the biceps to make the movement. More seconds. Rest period. Already getting gas, guys. Here we go. Lunges. Nice proud step into it. This is going to be the hardest part of the day. You can get through this, you can get through the rest of it. Remember to breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Five more seconds. Drop your weight, shake off your arms if you're getting tired. Going into reverse. Here we go. If it's getting tiring, slow down the movement. Five more seconds. Here we go. 6th round. Grab your heavier one if you have it. If you get too tired, drop the weight. It's a lot of reps, guys. Just keep the motion going. Alrighty. So now we're going to rest for about a minute. So this is your rest period here. If it's not burning yet, it's going to this round, I can promise you that. As long as you're doing constant motion, you're going to feel it. I chose the hottest building to do this in, I don't know why. It's like 25 degrees in here. It's terrible. So make sure you drink lots of water if you have it. Feel free to do a quick pause and grab some. We're going to get started pretty quick here. Here we go. Started that one a bit early, guys, so the clock's going to be a little bit behind, but it's about to beat now, so 10 seconds, then into the next. This is going to be your pec press. Another thing, try to make a triangle with your arm as you come up. Here we go. These don't have to be fast reps. You're going to get the same or better results. You slow down the movement with a slight pause and explode up. The eccentric portion coming down should be nice and slow with an explosive up, like so. Few more. Nice. Next one, row. In a few seconds. Here we go. Into the back row. Roll them up behind you. Not just going like this. Row it with your back. If you get tired, you can alternate. Gives you a bit of a break on one side. A few more. If that doesn't make you sweat, I do not know what will. Up next, going into our leg work. If you don't want to use the dumbbells, you don't have to. Another example, hands right here, lunging down like so. Remember, the main thing here is keeping that chest up, which helps keep your hips from falling forwards. You don't want to be leaning over like this. You want to be back here. If you're leaning over because of the weight, don't use the weight. Build up to using the weight. Should be in a good leg burn by now. Shake it off. I'll show you guys the reverse without the weight. It's the same concept. Here we go. Coming way back there with that back leg. Big stretch, knee almost to the ground. Few more. 5 seconds to go. At least 2 per leg. Come on. Good. Shake it out. Then we're going into our last one, squats. Remember, you can drop the weight at halfway. Remember to breathe. Nothing to it, but to do it. And done. Drop your weight responsibly. And we're resting for a minute and 5 seconds. It's a bit of a mess up not bringing water for this one, guys. If you got a tap nearby, pause her and take a quick drink. This is a brutal one. I don't know about you guys, but where I am right now, it's quite warm. So stay hydrated. I'll definitely be hydrating after this. We're going into our third round here. So our last 6 exercises. This is the hardest stretch. But once we're done, the reward is so much better. If we can kick our own ass in here, no one can do it outside of here for us. 5 more seconds, we're getting started. Shoulder press. Started early again, look at that. What a keener. to keep that back nice and strong, shoulders back, retracted back. And just to parallel. You don't have to come down here, just to here. That's the full range of motion for the shoulder. Stop there because I started early. I always miss that beat. Good work, guys. So we're going into our floor press again. This one you can't really do without dumbbells, even if you're tired. So you can always lower the weight if you have extras laying around, or back to where you were. If you get tired, just pause a little longer on the bottom or the top of the movement like so. That's okay. You still got lots of gas. This is your last round, so give it everything you got. Five seconds. Drop the weight. And we're going to be going into our rows. Took me a second down there. I'm gassed. Hopefully you guys are too. Into those rows. Again, if you get tired, pause, come up. You don't have to do them quick. It's all about getting that squeeze. Better do it right than quick. All right. Ooh, upper body's gassed. Let's go into that lower body. 3 exercises, then we'll do a summary at the end while we stretch, okay? Here we go. Make sure the dumbbells are off to the side or out in front of you so you don't trip on them if you're not going to use them. Doing good. And into reverse in the next 10 seconds here, guys. Almost to the end. Here we go, reverse lunge. Nice deep stretch. You can pause if you need. Load it up. Seconds. Don't look at the clock, just keep it going. Almost there. In the great scheme of it, it's not a long time. This makes up for all the couch sitting that we have for the rest of the day. Or office jobs, just getting up and being active for this 20, 25 minutes. It's not much. If you're gassed, leave the dumbbell, air squats. Let that butt fall back like you're sitting in a chair, keeping this whole back. .15 seconds, guys. And from the front, just down to parallel. Either here, here, or out in front. All right, brutal. So that's a wrap. Hopefully that was a good workout for you guys. We're gonna do a bit of a stretch now. Don't know why my clock's still going, but we made it through all 21 rounds. That's amazing. You notice how I may have stopped using the dumbbells for some of it. I just found out I have a pretty bad umbilical hernia right now. And for me, the weight starts to irritate it after a little while. No matter how good the form is, I have a really hard time engaging the core muscles the way I should be. So it doesn't matter how much you do this. I do this type of stuff every day. Injuries occur, and it's knowing your limit and kind of playing within it, like those terrible poker commercials. Know your limit, play within it. Doesn't matter how active or fit you really are. It's remembering that everyone's human and we all have injuries, past injuries, flaws that we have to work with, and just keeping the ego out of it. So for me today, using 20 pounds to rows, shoulder press, and bench, pretty light. And if I let my ego and my mind play tricks on me, it's gonna be detrimental to my results. I still had a great workout using these light weights and a 35 for the squats, and even doing the body weight stuff at the end when my stomach was starting to bug me. So just keep that in mind, guys. We're gonna go into our stretching really quick. You can follow this, or if you have a routine you like to do, that's fine. It wasn't all body. We did the posterior and anterior chains, upper and lower bodies. So we're gonna try and stretch it all out, starting with our hamstring. This is a great one. If you can't reach your toes with this, just grab the ankle, lean over it. That's totally fine. For me, I can grab the toe some days, not all days, and try and put some pressure on there. It's a great hamstring stretch. If you don't have time, you can also do both at the same time. That's fine. I find there's just more benefit to doing one at a time. I'm usually tighter in one side. Muscle imbalance strikes all the time. So rule of thumb is 20 to 30 seconds per side. You can work up to doing a lot more than that, but at least 20 seconds is what we're shooting for. I like to do about 25 to 30, really focusing on what I'm stretching, thinking about those muscles contracting, because this is an isometric movement for your muscle. Meaning it's contracting, I guess I should have said that, meaning it's contracting even though you're not moving it. All right, that's a good quad one. Now we're just gonna do our glute. So we're gonna pull our leg, I'll move to the side like so, trying to keep our back straight, like flat against the ground. So we can't put our hands underneath. That's what we want to focus on. If you're not feeling it in your glute, try to bring your leg to the outside of the body, not right to the chest. For me, I'm pretty tight in my glutes, so I feel it right here, and that's fine. If you're tighter, you might feel it right here. The other thing is, you don't want to see this arch in my leg. You don't want this one to come off the ground if you can avoid it. It's usually a sign of tight hamstrings and hip flexors. And switch sides, guys. Bring the next one up. Keep that other leg on the ground. See, I have a bit of a gap here. Tight hip flexor and hammies. This is a great way to do exercise if you don't have time. If you don't have an hour and a half in the weight room, you could do this type of routine for 45 seconds per exercise with no break with any of the weight room equipment and be out of there in half an hour. So keep that in mind. Next one, we're just gonna bring our leg up and drop it over the side, making sure both our elbows are on the ground, and then trying to bring our knee to the ground as well with a slight bend in the leg, called a bretzel. You should feel that in your glutes and all the way up your lower spine, especially if you have back injuries, issues, or stiffness from sitting at work. You hear the snowbirds overhead. Switch sides, so the legs coming straight up. Drop it down. This is my tighter side. You need to use your hand to help pull it, that's fine. Excuse me. The heat's killing me today. Next one, while we're on the ground, we might as well do all the floor ones first. Putting our one foot back like so, laces towards the ground, and then you're just gonna lean back. You can do both legs at the same time, or just one. The main thing is to try and have your legs facing the ground. So just to stretch out your quadriceps. You're also gonna get your tibia in there as well. Stretch it out. You can do these standing, either against a wall or balancing as well, or you just put your hand, holding your hand up, to put pressure against the quad. I like doing them seated. I find I get a deeper stretch in the upper part here, and even through my groin and hip flexor area. Again, I'm pretty stiff in that region, so it'll affect you differently depending how stiff you are or how mobile you are. Try this one on the other side. Great work if you made it this far. That wasn't an easy workout by any means. And remember, you can always make it more difficult by adding more weight. I just used what I could use with my injuries. But realistically, if you're in the gym a lot, you could definitely be using 40, 50 pounds for the upper body movements, and who knows for the lower body. It's all within your comfort level. This can be a very easy or a very hard workout, depending what you make it. Just keep that in mind. All right, so now you can do this one seated or standing. You can see me a little better seated. So legs straight out. We're just gonna go for our tricep stretch. Also stretches the delta out a bit and the low back. Right now you can't see, but I'm actually grabbing my hand with my other one. If I can't do this, simply push down right here. I find you don't get as good of a stretch, so work on trying to get the mobility to be able to do that. It's not for everybody. It does come with time. Injuries definitely make it harder. One of the few places I haven't injured playing sports throughout my life, so try to keep that mobility by doing it. Next one, just switching over. Definitely a harder time for me on this side, but still doable. Just gonna hold that, keeping our back nice and no sagging like this. Just for a few more minutes, keep that good posture. Good. Now, just a nice shoulder stretch. You can have it here, bring it up here. You can cross over like this. I like my arm out personally and down. Get more of a stretch down in my delts, yes, a bit of tricep, but really in my lat when I pull in this way. So try it that way. Again, up here or like this, however you feel it. You're pulling against this arm and then doing a bit of a rotation in the upper back torso. And switch. This is the last one, guys, and then we're done. Remember, if you need to do any more stretching, feel free. There's a world full of information. I'm sure anyone who's played sports has their own stretches they like to do as well. Feel free to incorporate. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Next time, I'm hopefully, if you see my name on there, I'll be doing a HIIT circuit depending on my hernia situation. If not, I might be focusing more on strength training or weight training, so stay tuned for that as well. I'm sure there'll be a lot more variety coming your way from me. But for now, it's going to be more weight training until I can figure out the hernia. Just because of the up-down motions in a lot of circuit training and body weight core exercises can be pretty tough for me right now. But stay tuned for more on that. And thank you for coming. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give some support for the military, the troops, and all the trainers out there doing their best during this weird time with COVID. Hit the notification bar if you want to see updated videos every month. Trainers from all across Canada are going to be posted on there. HIIT workouts, circuit training, endurance training, mobility, flexibility, yoga, you name it, it's going to be on there. Every type of training you can imagine. Training for events, everything from A to Z. All different ages and all different skill and ability levels. So check it out. A lot of exciting projects coming your way. Again, my name's Jeremy, and thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.